Hi, my name is Aurelia Taveras, and I'll be your host for this segment of March operations and inspections by NYPD, FDNY, the State Liquor Authority, the Department of Health, and all of the United agencies when they come to inspect your premises. A March operation or an inspection occurs of your premises, and they occur only on alcohol and licensed premises mostly. These are the items that they're looking for, and here's a checklist of the items. So these are the things and the items that they're looking for during an inspection. Failure to maintain the roster for your security guard. Again, books and records are vital. You have to have people sign in and sign out. Security guards sign in and sign out. Employees sign in and sign out. Your supervisors sign in and sign out. Supervisors and managers are two different things. A supervisor is somebody who supervises and looks over your location and helps you run your business. A manager is a person who is on your liquor license as a manager, and he can work the business in your absence. A supervisor is not a manager. If the supervisor's name is not in the application or has not applied to be your supervisor with the New York State Liquor Authority, your manager with the New York State Liquor Authority, then he should not be working in your absence. You are to be at your premises during hours of operation because that's what you represented to the Liquor Authority, and you could be fined for not supervising your staff. Prohibited, unlicensed bottle club. If you don't tell the Liquor Authority you're going to have bottle service and you do it, it's finable. Sales to minor is probably the one that will get your license revoked, suspended, canceled. Minors are protected in New York State to the nth degree and everywhere. Sales to them creates a danger or hazard to our community. You should, if you have a staff, they should all be ATAP certified. ATAP is alcohol trained, and it's a program that they take. It's cheap. They learn how to deal with a situation when a customer doesn't show their ID but want to be served alcohol. Under no circumstance do you serve alcohol to someone who has not shown their identification. It is very important. The identification is something that, first of all, tells you that the person is over the age of 21. Also, it protects you because if the person is not over the age of 21 and you ask them for his ID and you passed it through your scanner and it came out as positive and a working ID, then you're protected if somebody comes in and says this is a minor, because you did everything you're supposed to do. You scanned the ID, you asked for the ID, you didn't want to let them in or anyone else in if they're under the age of 21. So you have a duty to protect the minor, you have a duty to protect your neighbors and your environment so we don't have minors drinking alcohol unsupervised and drinking alcohol in general because they came out of your premises and they shouldn't be served alcohol at all. Warehousing alcohol without a permit. This is a crazy one. If you do not have a liquor license, you cannot sell alcohol. Very simple. It shouldn't be in your business. If you're a catering establishment and people come and do parties at your location, wonderful, but you should have a liquor license because if they bring in alcohol, you are a premises that permits the consumption of alcohol. You are a catering establishment and are responsible for the people that you rent to. If they come in and sell alcohol, consume alcohol, do a party with alcohol, a birthday, champagne, beer, wine, liquor, whatever it is, you need to have the document that permits you, which is a license, to be a catering establishment with alcohol. Do not permit parties where there's alcohol if you don't have a permit. And also making alterations, putting in a bar, an extra bar, changing, one floor to another floor, adding a floor, removing a floor, using the basement. All of these are alterations and they should be approved by the Liquor Authority. They have an alteration application. The Liquor Authority cannot visit every single business. The police doesn't visit every single business. So whatever you put on your application, they believe it to be true because they're not going to go and inspect before they give you your license. So whatever you told the Liquor Authority needs to be consistent with whatever they see when they go to the location. Sure enough, when they come and do an inspection, they bring a sheet of paper with everything that you're supposed to have, DJ karaoke or not have, and they bring a diagram that you supplied the New York State Liquor Authority when you applied for your application. So if the diagram doesn't look like the premise, you got 3 extra bars, and all of them are serving liquor, but you only have 1 bar on your license or your application, or you have bottle service not on there, or you have a DJ is not on your application. These are finable offenses that are going to get you a fine with the New York State Liquor Authority. Drug activity, gambling is a no-brainer. Gambling is not permitted if you don't have a gambling license like a casino. So that's just, drug activity is not permitted anywhere. All of these things will either get you arrested and or get you fined. Failure to permit inspection of your premises. When you sign for a liquor licenses or fill out your application, you have agreed, whether you know it or not, that when the liquor authority comes in for an inspection, to open your doors. You can't just stand in the front and say the boss is not here. You can't permit your employees to say the boss is not here, I can't let you into the office or whatever. Whatever is on that diagram, the liquor authority can inspect. Police officers cannot go into your locked drawers and open drawers in your office because you have an expectation of privacy, but they can inspect where you said the alcohol is going to be, whether it's the basement. They can inspect your closets where you have, where you put on the license that you were going to store alcohol. They can inspect your office exteriorly without being invasive because they can inspect behind the bar. They can look into your kitchen. They can even look into the bathroom. So if they find somebody smoking pot or taking drugs or things of that nature, those are all finable to the owner because these are things that you should be looking out for. You should be supervising. And also these are things that are not permitted as a license holder, and because you agreed to follow all the rules and local ordinances, and obviously letting people smoke pot in the bathroom and take drugs and are things that shouldn't be done on a premises with a licensed business owner. To wrap it up, unlimited drink offerings are prohibited. You can't let people drink alcohol until they're punch drunk. That's what they call it now, punch drunk. That they want to punch you, or they're so drunk that they punch themselves, or that they just fall out. You can't do any of that. Finally, I'm going to conclude with one that's starting to be the backdrop of a lot of the problems that we're having. Noise, patterns of disorder. These types of activities permitted on your premises, particularly noise, where you're disturbing the quality of life of your neighbors, is going to get you into big trouble. It's going to trigger a March operation where all the agencies are going to come in. It's going to trigger the Department of Environmental Protection and ECB to come in and do noise studies on your location and fine you. So you're going to be fined by the New York State Liquor Authority for noise, excessive noise. You're going to be fined by the DEP or the Department of Environmental Control Board for permitting noise above the level or the decibel levels permitted in your area. And you're going to be getting a summons from the NYPD. So all of this can be avoided, and in the immortal words of the chairman of the Liquor Authority, noise is the easiest thing to remedy. Just lower the volume. So I'm asking you to lower the volume if it's going to avoid you getting fined $5, $10, $6, $20, $30,000 or even losing your business over noise. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't be something that's permitted. Or if your DJ is doing, put a sound limiter. That'll limit the sound, and it won't go up over a certain decibel level. It's the easiest thing to remedy. Lower the volume on the noise producing music, lower the volume on the noise producing sound, whatever it is, whether it's live music, karaoke, DJ activity, whatever it is. Now there's another one that's hard to control, the sound of patrons when they come in and out of your establishment, but you can guide your security guards to orderly help people move it along so they're not standing, and loitering in front of your environment or your location or your business, so it's not attributed to you because you're moving the crowd along. So there are a couple of things, and that will provide some other insight from ECB and DEP and and all of the agencies to help you the sound companies to help you solution some of these problems. But ideally, we're not supposed to be disturbing the quality of life of our neighbors because we need to coexist. They need to sleep. We need to make money. But we also need to be respectful to our neighbors, and that's very important. That's why we're providing these educational series, so that you understand that you're, as a license holder, you're not here to just sell alcohol. There's alcohol everywhere. I could buy it at a liquor store. But if you invite me to your premises, I expect that the premises is going to be safe. I expect to come out of there alive. I don't expect to be stabbed. I don't expect to have my ears blown out because the music is so ridiculously high. I expect to really have an enjoyable experience. So your responsibility is to me, a patron that goes into your location, that I'm safe, but also that I'm not causing a disturbance to the people around me. So I know that there are a lot of rules and regulations, but they're not that hard to follow. And if you watch the next following segments, you'll see that what we're trying to do is make it easier for you, more understandable, and also help you save your money, make money, and also be able to really run a great business and be there for a long time. Thank you for watching this segment of inspections and March operations, and we hope that the information provided here was as helpful as possible. And again, give us a like on www.nyrestaurantchannel.com. I'm your host, Aurelia Tavares, and see you next time on the next segment.